Easy.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable is seated.
Easy.
Let's start our reasoning. Honorable.
Easy.
Yeah.
King Lagazee.
Blessings.
Good to see you, my brother.
Yeah, man.
Good to see you. You give me goosebumps, you know?
Yeah, man. Honorable.
Wickedest tunes.
Respect.
But yeah, what? No.
Yeah.
I'm not doing a clash with you. You are the baddest DJ. I want a clash with the chairman. Yo. Whenever I listen to you and I see the chairman's request, I'm like, that's the man who knows his roots.
Of course.
So big up yourself, Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, man, definitely.
One love.
Yeah, man. Honorable, how has the vibe been like with you? In terms of everything.
Well, we give thanks for life.
Yeah.
I've never been more excited than now.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing very well that we're about to embark on something that would impact millions and billions of Africans, for generations to come.
Yeah.
And it is courses like this, it is projects like this, it's things like this that keep me going, that inspire me, And if you look at the fact that, look, people got shot, people died to give us our seemingly independence, the least the least all of us can do is to sacrifice our time or resources to make Africa a better place, better than we met it. So with life, this whole idea came about. Having gone through a lot of, frustrations, traveling through African countries myself, and I'm like, look, until we decide to take the bull by the horn and do it ourselves, the leaders seem to be, sleeping on the job. And I remember vividly, just last year or so, I was denied a Botswanan visa. Can you imagine? As an African who's traveled globally, seen it all and done it all, yet wanting to go to Botswana in Africa, to enjoy myself in an African country.
Yeah.
I was told I didn't have fat money enough in my account.
Wow.
So that is a reflection of the situation of the African. And I think our generation has a unique opportunity. We have a special, chance to make it right and make sure that where the leaders, the great leaders of Africa, where they left off, we are taking off from there. So that's the inspiration behind the Trans-African Tourism and Unity campaign. We are attempting to have a borderless Africa where if Lagazee wants to go to Southern Africa or Eastern Africa or Northern Africa, you just pick your passport, buy your ticket, and then boom, you touch down, they stamp into your passport, and you can have fun, or you can, tour, or you can go and look for opportunities to trade, etc. Africa is a continent of 1.4 billion people. Imagine the opportunities if we were trading amongst ourselves, if it was easier for African people, to travel freely in Africa. Imagine the economic potential for our people. Imagine the creativity. Imagine the opportunities for the youth who are looking for opportunities and are not getting opportunities, in our individual African countries. Imagine the prospects for them. So this is a course that is bigger than myself. It's a course that I never even dreamt I would be embarking on. But I keep telling friends and loved ones who are shocked that I'm going to leave my family for 5 months and be on the treacherous roads in Africa, some of which are a bit dangerous. What I tell them is that Mandela was in prison for 27 years. And never throughout that period did he falter in what he was doing in terms of where he knew he needed to get South Africa to. People like Walter Sisulu, Governor Mbeki, who fought for South Africa's independence in spite of the brutalities. If you come to our own country, the murder of the protesters in the 40s, the struggle for our own independence against imperialism and colonization. Look at what the likes of Mugabe and others went through. It pales in comparison. It's nothing compared to what we are about to do. They didn't have technology in those times to broadcast their protests to reach millions. Now we have access to technology and we can reach billions and billions of people, not just in Africa, but all over the world. And as a man who's traveled globally, haven't seen 85 countries around the world, I have absolutely no doubt in my mind that Africa has what it takes, not just to be equal, but to do better.
Definitely.
Than these European and North American and Asian countries. I was in Singapore the other day, Lagazee. Singapore got her independence 2 years and 3 months after Ghana got its independence. If you look at the level of development in Singapore, if Singapore stopped moving forward, just stand still, they wouldn't develop, they wouldn't do, anything progressive, and Ghana were to develop at the pace we are developing, it's going to take us between 50 to 70 years to catch up with where Singapore is today.
Wow.
All right? And so they have decided to rid themselves of the colonial legacy and have made their country very, very attractive and are pressing on the right buttons. Africa has no excuse, and I repeat, no excuse not to succeed, given the enormity of resources that we have. We've got everything, whether it's the sunshine, whether it's the arable land to plant and grow things. I mean, we've got no business bringing fertilizer from Ukraine. Morocco, biggest supplier of fertilizer in Africa. Why can't we get a chunk of our fertilizer from Morocco? The population of Lagos is 30 million. Why can't Ghana make a strategic policy and say we want, as a matter of policy, to feed Lagos with corn or with yam or with pineapple or whatever, and access that market instead of being disrespected by Europeans and Americans who are setting all manner of crazy standards, that impoverishes our farmers. Lagos alone, 30 million. And so if the Ivory Coast decided to, be the biggest supplier of sugarcane for Africa, imagine the market. If Ghana decided to give just Lagos, not the whole of Nigeria, just the city of Lagos, corn or banana or whatever, you can imagine what we'll be raking in. If we all decided that, look, yes, Morocco is doing something great, let's trade with Morocco. Let's get our fertilizer from Morocco and not from Europe. We're keeping the money here.
Definitely.
As we Rastas say, you dance a yacht before you dance abroad.
Yeah.
Our people can't be suffering, and we are, building the economies of the wealth of the West. We are traveling there on holidays. We are spending billions and billions of our resources in education in these countries, to the detriment of our own people, my brother. Do we not have good universities in Africa?
You're right.
We meet up with people who have studied in the Harvards and the Oxfords, etc. Toe to toe, we stand our ground.
Definitely.
And there are people who haven't studied in Europe or North America and are doing better for themselves. And so let's invest that resources here in Africa. So Lagazee, that is the whole vibe.
Yeah.
To get a visa-free Africa where any African, where 1.4 billion Africans can have access to 54 countries. So that no, DB American, visa officer or no European visa officer would, show disrespect.
Of course.
I mean, if Africans have traveled widely within Africa and they want to go to America or Europe, I'm not sure they will get the kind of disdain, the kind of condescending attitude they get from these embassies. And every now and then you see, one embassy decide to punish our people with visa ban. The other day I heard, Malema had been banned from coming to the UK. And I'm like, we don't even need these countries, really and truly. We don't.
Yeah.
They need us more than we need them.
Of course.
Let's get that fact straight. I'm not saying we shouldn't trade with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying we shouldn't encourage relationships with them.
Mm-hmm.
But we've got what it takes to be comfortable in our own skin and not to have to go to beg for crumbs to shore up our budgets.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at the visa fees they're taking from us.
Serious.
And that is what they turn around to give us back. And we are excited and clapping and saying so and so country has given us grants, this and that and that and that. We can do it here. I've seen it elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
All right? I've seen how Singapore has done it.
Mm-hmm.
And we have no business not being a Singapore.
Mm-hmm.
But only if we're smart enough.
Mm-hmm.
Only if we can work together.
Mm-hmm.
Look, as a kid, as far back as 1992, 1993,
Mm-hmm.
when ECOWAS started talking about common currency, how many
Yeah, man. Blessed.
1, 2. Yeah, man. Babylon can't take the fire.
Yeah.
So the point I'm making, Lagazee,
Yeah.
we don't hate no European or North American.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a globalized village,
Yeah.
and some of them are trading partners.
Mm-hmm.
But we need to take care of ourselves.
Of course, you're right.
We need to put the best interest of Africa first. And that means, a borderless Africa where every African can go to any part of Africa without harassment.
Mm-hmm.
Without being asked to come and show their bank statement. I don't think I would ask you for a bank statement if you're coming to my house or vice versa.
Of course.
And so if we are brothers
Mm-hmm.
and sisters as Africans
Mm-hmm.
who were only unfortunately divided
Mm-hmm.
in the 1800s by Europeans when they drew a line between our countries,
Mm-hmm.
then what business do we have putting impediments in the way of our own kith and kin, of our own brothers and sisters visiting our countries? I'll give you a couple examples.
Mm-hmm.
If I want to go to the Congo,
Mm-hmm.
they're charging me $250 in visa fees as an African. If a Zambian wants to come to Ghana, visa on arrival at Kutuka, we charge him $200.
Mm-hmm.
If a Ghanaian goes to Zambia,
Mm-hmm.
he pays $25 in visa fees.
Wow.
So you see the disparity.
Yeah.
And the lack of reciprocity
Mm-hmm.
between the countries, and how it hinders our people from moving freely, from accessing education, from accessing opportunities. So we are embarking on this journey
Mm-hmm.
as disciples of Kwame Nkrumah and Kenyatta and all the great King Mohammed of Morocco
Mm-hmm.
and all the great African leaders.
Mm-hmm.
We're embarking on this journey to promote a borderless Africa where no African would have to ask for a visa or go for a visa before they can go to an African country.
All right.
Currently, the African Union
Mm-hmm.
has what they call Agenda 2063,
Mm-hmm.
that by the year 2063, we would have implemented a visa-free Africa policy. But I don't know, that's almost 40 years from now. If you add 40 years to my 46 years,
Yeah.
I'm clocking 90.
Of course.
We want our youth, we want
Yeah.
our kids, we want other people's grandchildren to have that, opportunities now and not tomorrow.
Yeah.
Especially at a time when, Europe and America are showing more and more discrimination towards our people.
Mm-hmm.
We need to stand firm.
Mm-hmm.
We need to put the best interest of Africa first.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to make sure not only should Africa be visa-free now? I want to see this happen in the next 5 years. And not only should it be visa-free now, but we should be talking about one common currency for Africa.
Definitely.
We should be talking about one passport where Ghana can issue an African passport, Congo can issue an African passport, Egypt can issue an African passport. We're one people, and where you could use that to go anywhere in Africa.
All right.
The benefits far outweigh the disadvantages.
You're right.
And so when we start on the 18th of next month, we would not be back in Ghana until 27th January 2026, all things being equal. That is 5 months on the road, 163 days on the road, 600 hours of driving, 40,000 kilometers on the road. But it's a cost that is worthwhile. I mean, if Lumumba paid with his life, if Sankara paid with his life, if Nkrumah paid with his life, if others got shot at, right? You think about the Sharpeville massacre in South Africa, etc. Then the least Africans can do now is to sacrifice their time and resources to make it happen. And so we're going to be meeting with African heads of our government, presenting letters to them, holding press conferences, and also not just pushing this, but also showcasing the beauty of Africa as we journey along. There's so much to see: the culture, the food, the music, etc. And we're bringing this to viewers and listeners across the world. And thankfully, Asaase Radio is an official partner in this endeavor, and we can't be grateful enough, for the foresight in thinking about what we are doing and what it would benefit the people of Africa. We're sincerely grateful for everything that Asaase Radio is doing. Even though I haven't seen the chairman's company come on board yet. So Gabi, if you're listening, this is one project, the African Prosperity Network might want to partner with. I mean, we can't be speaking from different sides. We need to sing from the same hymn book.
Of course.
All right? As Africans, we need to work together. Ubuntu, Umoja, working together would bring about the prosperity of our people. So we want to see all forward-looking companies and media houses, that want the prosperity of Africans, to be on board with us, so that we can sufficiently push and make sure that this happen at the shortest possible time. So we're going to start from Accra, driving to Lomé, Togo, and Togo would be a whistle stop, which means we're not sleeping in Togo because it's just close to Accra, Ghana. We'll finish our activities in Togo, and God willing, we'll move to Benin. From Benin, we do Nigeria. Nigeria is so big and vast, so we're going to do Lagos and then drive to Abuja to meet with the government. And are
you going to pass through the semi-border?
We're going to pass through everywhere.
That is the dangerous border.
We're going to do from Nigeria through, so we're going to do from, Abuja, we do Enugu, and then into Calabar, into Cameroon. Then we do Equatorial Guinea, Malabo. Then we do Gabon. From Gabon, we do the Congo DR. Then we do Angola. Then we move to Namibia. Then Botswana. Then we do South Africa. Then go to Lesotho, Eswatini, or formerly Swaziland. From there, we do Mozambique. And then we do the Great Zimbabwe. And we do Zambia. And then we move to Tanzania in the east. So from Tanzania, we do Burundi, Rwanda, Kenya. Then we go to Ethiopia. From Ethiopia, we come to Central Africa, where we do the Central African Republic, Chad. Then we do Niger. From Niger, we drive for 40 hours to Algeria.
Wow. Wow.
Through the deserts.
Yeah.
And the sadness also is that when we get to the north, we have to go to Europe before we can come back into Africa. And for me, that saddens my heart greatly, because since 1994, Morocco and Algeria have had issues, problems, disagreements. And for that reason, they have closed their land borders. Very unfortunate. And so Morocco and Algeria are depriving or have been depriving their citizens from trading amongst themselves since 1994. Wow. This fact underscores the failure of the African Union. It underscores the failure of African leaders to bring these brothers. There's no difference between Algeria and Morocco, one people. But for the artificial border that was drawn in the 1800s, they are one. And so, because the land border has been closed, we would have to pick a ferry from Algeria to Spain and then pick a ferry from Spain to Morocco.
Wow.
And then to Mauritania, Senegal, Gambia, Guinea-Bissau, Sierra Leone, Liberia, the Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, and then back to base in Ghana. And the AU would have to sit up, ECOWAS would have to sit up, SADC would have to sit up, all the regional bodies would have to sit up. Because if as Africans, we are not in talking terms since 1994, and the border between our two countries has been closed, then we are not really ready for the unification of Africa. And if the AU since 1994 has not been able to solve this problem, then the AU has monumentally failed the people in Morocco and Algeria and Africa at large. We don't want this kind of discrimination amongst ourselves. Africa is one. We're one people, one destiny, and we should be seen to be working together as one people.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Ras Mubarak just asked only one question.
Easy.
One question may ask. And the Honorable say, yo, my gun is loaded. Let me empty the clip. It's a Lagazee. Wait, no man. Wait, let me empty the clip. And boom, bam. He has gone straight to the point. I was going to ask about the road map and all that, but he has given that already. You understand me? How they will go round and round. How many people are you moving with?
We're a team of 7.
Wow.
Made up of myself, a brethren of mine, Sumaila, Eric. We've got Kobe's part of the media team. So we've got 4 people who are media. Asaase has said it will send a report. I hope we finalize that, because the content you can gather from this, whether it's food you want to do, whether it's documentaries, whether there's so much content to gather. So GTV is actually dedicating a crew to come with us. And there are 3 people coming from GTV plus Kobe here, 4 media guys, and 7 of us. And we've got some additional drivers and 1 mechanic. So in all, we're about 14 doing this trip. And so the media has been very supportive. And, I'm glad that stations like Asaase, 3FM, the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation, South African Broadcasting Corporation, Radio Gold, Zimbabwe Broadcasting Corporation, several others, Ahuto FM, Nyankopa FM, Melody FM in Takoradi, Graphic Communications Group, all of them being very, very supportive. We've got support from Algeria to Zimbabwe, from media partners. And we've got some companies here as well. Glyco is providing insurance, so that we are well covered, and we thank Glyco for the support. Japan Motors has decided to give us 1 Nissan Patrol. Would have wished they made it 2. We're still waiting to hear from Japan Motors. We're still waiting to hear from Toyota Ghana. We expect some 2 Land Cruisers from them. And we're hoping that my friend at CFAO would give us 1 G-Class AMG, the Mercedes. because it's an opportunity to showcase Africa as well.
Of course.
And so, we appeal to all of these vehicle companies to support the cause. And we are also very, very grateful to the government, because this is a government-endorsed project. What it means is that government is not giving us money, but they are giving us their blessings.
Okay.
I mean, which is more than enough for us to, keep going. And with that, we've been able to reach out to the AU, telling them we're coming. We've reached out to ECOWAS. We've reached out to the AFTA Secretariat here in Accra. We've reached out to SADC, and we're hoping that everybody will come on board. This is a project for Africa. And I'm sure you remember the Casablanca Summit in 1961, where Kwame Nkrumah, Sekou Toure, King Mohammed, and others attended. In 1961, there were a handful of countries, that were independent in Africa. They sowed the seed for African unification. NASA and others envisioned an Africa where 1.4 billion people can move to any corner of the African continent. And so today we have decided to light that candle, to light that torch we could have flown to these countries.
Of course. But
what use is a life of comfort, when the cause is bigger. So we're doing this to draw attention that we're serious. I mean, if this were possible, we would have even gone by foot.
Yeah.
And that way,
horses and
that way, you remember the caravan of Mansa Musa of years gone by.
Yeah.
That way thousands and thousands of Africans would have joined.
Yeah.
For us to embark on that journey. But unfortunately, due to the challenges of the weather and the difficulty, if you're going to do this by foot, it's going to take us a long time to do all of the 39 African countries. We are also not oblivious to security concerns. So, for example, we're not driving at night.
Okay.
So we're doing averagely 8-9 hours a day by road, and we check into a hotel at night and rests, and take it up from there. And then we've also reached out to African governments through their embassies. So in Ghana here, for instance, we've met with a lot of the ambassadors. We've met with the dean of the African ambassadors in Ghana. And as a matter of fact, on Tuesday, I have a Zoom meeting with all the African ambassadors, posted to Ghana to discuss further the trip. And I'm so glad that the African ambassadors have also seen the wisdom in this project, because it's tiring that a continent so blessed
with
everything, my brother, and yet we wallow in abject poverty. It's so sad. If you look at the Congo has one of the worst roads in Africa, but look at the resources of the Congo. Look at the resources of Liberia. Liberia has some terrible roads. So we are not oblivious. We're not, we are fully aware of all the challenges, but we're prepared for it. Myself, a global traveler, I am fully ready. My mind is well psyched up, and everyone on the trip is really and truly prepared to embark on this. And I don't know if you would have the time, or if you would leave your beautiful wife for 5 months and come with us. But the beauty of this is that you don't even have to do all 5 months with us.
Yeah.
I know there are people who've reached out to us from Ghanaians and other Africans from Africa, who are resident in Europe and North America, who've said that, look, at so and so point, we want to fly in and join you to do 3-4 countries because of the nature of our work. So Chairman, if you're listening, if he doesn't do this, please, this is a fiat. If he doesn't make a commitment, to support us financially, and doesn't make a commitment to at least do 3, 4, 5 countries by road.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exciting. You've been flying all over the place.
Yeah.
We've been talking about Africa, but if you really want to understand the problems, it's like a rich man coming to tell you he can solve a poor man's problem. when the person doesn't know what poverty is.
Of course.
If you want to solve Africa's problems, you actually need to have lived the problems. You need to, go down the road, go down the grassroots, figure out what the challenges are, whether it's the road network, etc. And then you can proffer solutions to African problems. But if you're looking at the problem from the skies, you may be far removed,
of course,
from the reality. I mean, this is not to say that Gabi is not a. This is not to say he's not a grassroots person. I've known him for 25 years. We've been like tight. And many of my NDC brothers and sisters, find it surprising that somebody from the other side is so close. But that is who we are. We are Ghanaians.
Of course.
From his time as a journalist, from my time as a broadcaster, etc. If we don't work together as Africans, forgetting our problems, after the problems, the partisanship and the divisions, they are there. But the most important thing is that we need to rise above those problems.
Definitely.
And see ourselves first as Africans. And not even as Ghanaians and Nigerians and Igbos and the Gomez and Fantis and Gans and Ashantis, etc. First as Africans.
You're right.
If we see ourselves first as Africans, then half the problem is solved.
You're right.
All right? Then we need to love Africa more than we love ourselves.
You're right.
I mean, you look at our situation and people put their party first above national interest. People put their church or their religion, whether it's Islam or Christianity, first above Africa. People put their tribe above Africa. I mean, before you were anything, you are an African.
You're right.
Before you came out of your parents' womb, before you were born, your parents were Africans. And so your first love must be nothing but Africa. No religion, no tribe, no politics, no bangarang, as we say in Jamaican, but Africa. Okay? And if we're able to do this, we would solve the myriad of problems that we have as Africans. Because the problems we have are not unsurmountable. One is lack of leadership, is lack of political will. See this visa-free thing. Kenya has taken a bold decision and decided that, look, all Africans can now pick their passports and come to Kenya. Straight.
Buy a ticket
and just come. That is the beauty. And we want other African countries
to emulate
follow
that
suit. I mean, in the year 2024, last year, Ghana went that route, to be the first country in Africa to allow for people to come to Ghana freely. But unfortunately, that has not been implemented fully. And I'm making an appeal, even though we're working closely with government on this project, to make it a reality. You see, it would add to our credentials,
of course,
as a country that is well steeped in Pan-Africanist ideals. And we can't be last.
You're right.
Ghana must not chop last in this.
Of course.
Kenya has beaten us to it with implementation. And you see, the reasons that governments are given for not implementing this are just excuses. They say for security reasons. Today, do we not have biometrics? We have biometrics. And we should be collaborating with each other. We are sharing intelligence with America. We're sharing intelligence with Europe, and we can't share intelligence with our own African kith and kin of our own African people.
It's sad.
We should be doing that more.
Yeah.
So the security concerns, I mean, if a criminal is in Ghana and wants to come to, Ethiopia or Morocco or Egypt or Algeria, the manifest is there. From when he boards a flight, we should be able to tell Moroccan officials that so and so is on the flight coming, wall him when he comes. And vice versa.
Yeah.
Through intelligence sharing, through intelligence gathering, and so we are passionate about this, and I think we've been down for so long. We've been playing lip service, and I mean, I'm restless, Lagazee.
Yeah.
Seeing that we get harassed.
Yeah.
Somebody wakes up on the wrong side of the bed one day and says, "I'm imposing a visa ban on you." Who says if I don't come to your country, I will die? Who says if I don't come and spend my own money coming to your country, you have to?
Yeah.
You have to flex about it.
Yeah.
And you see, the beauty, God is schizophrenic because there are seamless opportunities elsewhere. If America is making it difficult for Ghanaian business people to trade in America, there are other countries. Right? And so for me, the first step is for Africa to recognize that, look, if we work together, if we put our energies on making Africa united through a visa-free policy, through a one-country policy, through a standalone army, boy.
No boy test.
No boy test. You know.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're reasoning with the Honorable Ras Mubarak, and soon we'll wrap it up, and then we'll jump on Zoom and deal with Naki William, the son of the legendary Bunny Wailer. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I've got a few messages over here before my producer Naruba will step in with one question, and then we can wrap it up. This one is coming from your sparring partner, and you know who I'm talking about, the one named Skelly Dread. You understand me? Skelly said, when Ras Mubarak talks about people going to the West to pay huge sums of money for education, etc., etc., well, that is a choice. Those who make it. No one forces anyone to go, anywhere to study. Our leaders have failed us continuously. And our mindset as a people is what is our own enemy. If 50% of our people thinking along the lines of Mubarak, Sam George, Ablakwa, etc., etc., we will be better people and better life ahead. Now, well, all right. Give thanks.
Absolutely, and that's a very valid point. So, what the point I'm making is that government shouldn't be spending our money. In taking people. I mean, as individuals, if Lagazee wants to go to Harvard or go to the University of West Indies to do a course, that's your money. Or if you can source that funding. But we should be spending. When I say we, the taxpayers' money should be spent right here in Africa. We should be paying Legon more to train more of our students. Of course. Paying South Africa more to train more of our students. Paying, Egypt and elsewhere more. But the money remains here.
You're right.
The millions and billions, tuition fees in America, it's a whole heap of money. And then Jerry Chichidudu from Hohwe, sent in this. He said, great convo, great concept and content. Tell the Rutika Honorable that he is one man I admire so much from his days at GTV to Parliament. Ask him if he is no more interested in politics. Well, this is also politics.
Yeah, man.
In some way, because this is a cause that is bigger than myself, and I have always seen myself as a disciple of Kwame Nkrumah, and if you're a disciple, you want to live your master's legacy. You want to relive it. You want to keep the candle blazing. If I hadn't gone to Parliament, I probably wouldn't have been inspired. If I hadn't left Parliament, I probably wouldn't have been inspired. To embark on this project. So nothing is lost. Something there are a lot of blessings when things happen the way they do, and God in His infinite wisdom has a plan for all of us, and I'm particularly happy with this particular course, and I believe one thing would lead to the other.
All right. Narubawa, come in, man. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Ras, greetings.
Greetings. You make me miss my locks.
Oh. This really has nothing to do with what we are talking about. But my issue is oftentimes, as Pan-Africans, including myself, it seems to close our ears and eyes to global happenings. Why do I say so? There's a genocide happening in Palestine. People are starving to death, women and children. And when I look around this country, even across Africa, I think you are the only one that speaks out. Why do you think it's the case, or governments or Ghanaians or Africans being scared talking about Palestine, or they think that Israel is so powerful that no other nation want to talk about them? Example, even in this country, it's like the media is silent, right? We have the Israeli ambassador right in this studio twice talking about the issue happening in Gaza, right? And this same country, we have the, the Palestinian ambassador here. So you see the discrimination. So why do you think that as people are quiet or people are sleeping, have a lonely voice like you speaking against the issue, what is happening? Are you not scared of anything? Like, Israel is powerful with their systems and governance and so. Why so?
Well, I mean, this is an aside to what we're discussing, but to answer you briefly, I remember vividly my senior Katie Hammond once in Parliament said to me, Ras, blah, 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 blah. I'm hearing complaints. You are harassing the Israelis. You got to be very careful. They are very dangerous. This was Katie Hammond to me. I mean, wherever he is, I mean, I respect him for at least showing concern. But you can't be scared when you are fighting a just cause. You know, what is happening in Palestine is most unfortunate. It's a genocide. If the world was a fair world and just world, the Israeli Prime Minister would have been in handcuffs and in jail by now. But you see, the world is full of hypocrisy. And people care so much about, hey, Charlie, Palestine funds, the thing with Palestine, if I go talk some, maybe I can get a visa to Europe or America. Because what the Israelis do is they go and buy, you know, they buy the media, they buy politicians, they are sponsoring politicians all over the place, not just here in Ghana, but, you know, in Europe, including the British. All right? And so I wish that, you know, my fellow politicians would be as courageous. And, you know, I mean, I know our foreign minister stands with the Palestinians. And I know Ghana's position, officially, Ghana as a country stands with Palestine. And I must commend our government, you know, both past and present, for the moral position they've taken on the issue of Palestinian, you know, nationhood. Except that if I were the president, I would have expelled the Israeli ambassador from my country by now. Because you can't close your eyes to a genocide. You can't close your eyes to the mass murder of people. How did we defeat apartheid in South Africa? It was through boycotts. The apartheid government in South Africa was on a world of its own, terrorizing, you know, black South Africans, like the Sharpeville massacre. Look at the number of people they shot at without fear. What is happening in Palestine is worse. And the world said that, look, if we don't begin to boycott this country and make their economy crash, it would continue. So they stopped doing business with the South African apartheid government. That is where the world should be heading to. Mm-hmm. And we should cut down the hypocrisy.
Yeah, just it's a question. Just chip in something small. This regards to the trip coming up. When you guys return your funds funding, are you planning to present to the AU and maybe groups like the African Prosperity Network?
So we intend presenting letters to all, you know, African governments, sharing our thinking as far as the visa policies is concerned and encouraging them to actually implement a visa-free policy. Mm-hmm. We have requested of the AU Commission chairperson to meet with us when we get to Ethiopia. We've also made that request of ECOWAS and of SADC, you know, and these are all very crucial bodies that if we work together instead of working in silos, we can achieve a lot together. And the African Prosperity Network obviously is doing a very fantastic job. And this, what we're doing, dovetails. I'm surprised Gabby hasn't called me by now. Gabby, if you listen, I'm surprised you haven't picked up the phone to call by now. I mean, this actually dovetails into what you're doing. Mm-hmm. The thing is, if businesses are thriving, it is African people who prosper. Mm-hmm. But businesses wouldn't thrive when we are having difficulty, you know, going into other African countries, you know, to trade or to get education. I mean, take Cameroon, for instance. Mm-hmm. We have to get visas to go to Cameroon. Can you imagine?
Wow.
You know, we have to get visas to go to pretty much about 14 African countries. And guess how much visa fees are costing us, this small team? Over $15,000.
Wow. Just
in visa fees alone. All right? And you can imagine what that money would have done for the team that is going. Buying water on the way, servicing vehicle, you know, hotels, etc. You know, so let me use this opportunity to appeal to corporate Ghana, private and public, that look, we're not doing this for ourselves. I mean, I don't need to go anywhere. As a matter of fact, my father didn't know Accra. I've done 85 countries around the world. Mm-hmm. All right, and today my kids can pick their passport and they have access to other countries because of me. The least I can do as an African is to think about the child in Kokompe or in Odoko or in Bunkurugu or in Kumbungu or in Ashtown, who may not have the privileges and the opportunities that I have. If we don't make it easier for them then we would have failed as a people who have had opportunities. So this is my little contribution, following Nkrumah, following Garvey, to the African struggle. Somebody has to make sacrifices. And I don't mind it being myself. I don't mind it being Lagazee. I mean, companies are making sacrifices. For instance, there's a company that contacted us, Del Cielo Optical Services. And they said that, look, you guys will be driving for 600 hours. You need good eyes to see. So I'm giving free optical, service to all the crew on the trip. Wow. Brilliant. Glyco, as I said, Glyco is on board, giving us insurance. Telecel, as a matter of fact. Telecel is on board, even though we're still negotiating certain things. They've decided that, look, for this trip, voice and data, they want to make sure when Asaase Radio calls us for updates, network is crisp. And so Telecel is giving us, internet and voice to do this trip. And we're grateful to the leadership at Telecel. But we want more than just, voice and data. They should give us kwacha. They should give us some money in addition. We've got hotel bills to pay for. We've got vehicles to service. We've got, fuel to buy. When we did the maths, fuel alone through 39 countries over 163 days will cost us not less than $50,000.
Wow.
Yeah. Fuel and maintenance. But if Nkrumah paid with his life, if Sankara paid a price,
wow,
then the least Africa Prosperity Network can do is to write a check of 100,000 grand, and EcoBank and GCB and all of the big banks, to support this worthy cause, so that we can look Lagazee. If Africa is borderless, you can imagine.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, Asaase can have stations in other parts of Africa.
Of course.
Businesses, whether it's Auntie Muni's watching, may God rest her soul.
Yeah.
Or, Alaji's wife watching or whatever. They can expand and go into other places. And when they expand and go into other places, what happens? They create jobs.
You're right.
Because you see, the danger is that if those of us privileged are not careful, that privilege will be gone.
Forever.
If the youth can't find jobs, what do you think is going to happen? Crime is going to go up. You see carjacking, and it happens in other parts of Africa. I mean, you see it in South Africa and elsewhere. Carjacking, crime, etc. So we should be busy, keeping the young people busy. If you have a job to do and you earn your salary and you have your young wife like Lagazee has his young wife, you wouldn't be thinking about committing crime.
No, sir.
We need to keep the youth off the streets, and the only way we can get them off the street is to give them sustainable jobs.
You're right. You're right, Honorable.
Through creating opportunities. And that is why our hashtag is Open Africa, Open Opportunities. And I hope that, the African youth, African governments, African businesses would all come on board and support this cause so we can do it for our people.
All right. So 48 going into the R2. Let me take some few messages on our Facebook, and then we'll come back to the Honorable and then wrap it up, and then straight we jump on Zoom to deal with the other interview. Coming from the Al Kabulan Empress Sounds, he said the Trans-African, borderless cause, trading, traveling freely, opportunities for the youth, business, living family for 5 months will be part of the journey. So the solution can be evident. Respect to Ras Mubarak. All right. And then Junior Maestro from Norway Far Away says the citizens of Singapore are very patriotic and obedient to development. All right. And then Junior Maestro goes to boom and step in again and say there is no way South Africa will go ahead with visa-free policies. Xenophobia issues are still lingering. All right.
Easy.
And then Ras Jaguar says it's loving the reasoning. Greetings to the rebel Ras Mubarak. All right.
Easy.
And then Barrow say powerful message. All right. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. Give thanks. Keep your messages coming. Yeah, man. Let me see this one over here. So, all right. You know, I don't want to take no side point in all these things. You understand me? But everything good and everything is all right in the place. So, the Honorable said they're going to embark on this journey on the 18th of August and return on the 27th of January 2026. Wow. You understand me? So if you're on this journey, you make sure that you take some some teas for hard waste and all these things because it's going to be a journey. You understand me? So for 5 months, you are not going to taste it. You understand me?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yo, it's not going to be easy at all. You understand me? Yeah, man. But we give thanks, for this selfless, movement. You understand me? And we pray that God keep the item. You understand me? And answer all the prayers so that the item can go and come back safely. Leaving you finally, what advice do you have for Ghanaians?
We've got to be patriotic. We've got to love Ghana more than ourselves. As Africans, we've got to be patriotic. We've got to love Africa more than ourselves. Others paid with their lives. And you see, big dreams need sacrifices. Mm-hmm. If we want a united and prosperous Africa, we've got to sacrifice our time. We've got to sacrifice our energy. We've got to sacrifice our resources. Mm-hmm. To make it happen. Mm-hmm. And so I know would make it. Mm-hmm. I know Africa would make it in our lifetime. Mm-hmm. It may seem a far off dream, but it is things like this that spark a bigger fire for it to, ignite and catch on elsewhere. So Lagazee, we give thanks. Mm-hmm. We give thanks to the management of Asaase Radio for being an official partner on this endeavor. It tells the world that you are very progressive and that you love Africa. And you see, when the history of Africa is to be written in the future, Asaase Radio would be remembered.
Of course.
As a station that didn't charge us money, that gave us platform, that announced it, that advertised it, for it to happen. South African Broadcasting Corporation will be remembered. The Herald newspaper would be remembered. Graphic Communication would be remembered. Radio Gold would be remembered. 3FM would be remembered. Ahoto FM would be remembered. GBC would be remembered. All the media partners up and down this great continent would be remembered for being forward-thinking. At least you can't join us on the journey, but there's something you're doing in kind. All the stations that are coming together to support us would be remembered for being the ones who made it all happen. And we couldn't be more grateful, for an opportunity to be on the radio and talk about this groundbreaking initiative. And we thank the government of Ghana also for the positive endorsement through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And we thank the Minister of Foreign Affairs as well for being forward-looking and for embracing the idea wholeheartedly. We need a borderless Africa, and we need it now, not in 2063, as the African Union has envisioned. Thank you very much, my brother.
You're welcome.